All right, everybody, welcome to Hooligans.
Yay!
Is my mic too loud?
Yay!
Mic check.
Oh, yeah.
Yay!
Mic check.
Let me get my mic on. My applause on.
Is there a Michael in the house? Any Michaels here? No? Okay.
Michael's, but a lot of mics.
Well, at least one. All right, y'all. Boudreaux.
Boudreaux.
Uh-oh.
To everyone's surprise, Boudreaux. Hold on, I was going to say this one, but now I'm going to say this one.
That Boudreaux, that son bitch.
Boudreaux and Marie. You know, they've been married for a long time. And like a lot of couples, they done been through some rough times.
Mm-hmm.
Now, they decided to go see the marriage counselor to try to work things out. When they arrived, the counselor jumped right into the situation. What seems to be the problem? Now, immediately, Marie started to relate all the bad habits that Boudreaux has. What a bum he is,
Uh-oh.
and everything else that's wrong with him. Now, poor Boudreaux couldn't get a word in. After a few minutes of listening to Marie's ranting, the counselor stood up, walked over to Marie, picked her up, and kissed her very passionately. Then he sat her back down. Now, Marie, stunned, speechless, with a very satisfied look on her face. Now, Boudreaux just looked at her with disbelief on his face. Now, the counselor told Boudreaux, he said, that's the problem. Your wife needs to have at least that twice a week. Now, Boudreaux looks at the doctor and he says, okay, whatever you think. I'll have her here every Tuesday and Thursday. Twice a week. Now, since we're talking about Marie, I got one more. Actually, it's not really about Marie, but it kind of is. All right, Boudreaux went to see Dr. Abel, and he said, Doc, I'm worried about Marie. I think she's going deaf on me. Every time I tell her something, I got to repeat myself 2, 3, maybe 5 times. So the doctor said, well, Boudreaux, we could check that out pretty easily. When you get home tonight, stand about 15 feet behind her and ask her something. If she don't reply, move yourself about 5 feet closer and try it again. Just keep on moving closer until she responds to you. That way we'll have a good idea of how bad her hearing is. Like on a scale from 10 to 1.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So when Boudreaux gets home, he walks up behind Marie in the kitchen. He says, Chef, what's for dinner tonight? No reply. He moves about 5 feet closer. He tries it again. Yo, Marie, what's up for dinner? Still no reply. 5 more feet, same thing. Next thing you know, he's standing right behind her, practically breathing on her shoulders. Once again, he said, Marie, what is for dinner? About this time, Marie turns around and yells at him, for the 4th goddamn time, baked chicken. I think somebody else got the hearing problem.
Yeah.
Y'all, my wife's in the kitchen right now shaking her head because she knows. I just told her all about me.
My husband's like that too. I've told him go get a freaking.
All right,
Boston,
Boston, you ready to come up here and tell your joke?
come on, Boston, we.
Come on,
Yeah,
Boston.
football fan.
Come on, Boston.
I'm trying to tell Eddie that you're telling your joke.
Come on, Boston. All right, everybody. Give
Give us
Boston
some laughs,
a big
brother.
round of applause. Big welcome.
Yay, Boston!
Hey, Boston.
Yeah. You know who returned last night on every Monday Night Raw?
Tell us, Boston, who returned last night on Midnight
Who?
Raw?
John Cena.
John Cena.
Hey!
What?
Are you joking?
No, WyNott,
That's gotta be
he
a joke.
returned last night.
Awesome.
Oh.
Yippee!
Is that a joke?
Funny.
Was that the punchline?
Yeah,
Okay.
and it has new attire too.
All right. Big hand for Boston, y'all.
Yay, Boston.
You can't see me.
Oh, yes. Can't.
Yes, we
Ah.
can.
I used to tell that to my kids when they was into wrestling. They walk around the house sweeping their face across their face saying, "You can't see me."
He said, yes, I can.
I said, "Yes, I can." That's right.
Mhm.
All right, I'm going to do one joke. Just one. And then we'll
Why not?
get, I think Endora wants to come up here. Or at least I want Endora
Yes,
to come up here.
sir.
She ain't been up here in a
Hey.
while.
Pandora.
No.
No, I haven't been here.
I
I've been
know.
here a while. I've been working.
But
Yeah.
y'all got to
we
get to
missed
one
you.
more Boudreaux
We
joke.
appreciate that you're
First.
working because hardly
Alright.
anybody else is. Yeah.
Yeah, Boudreaux
All right.
Clotilde.
Hey,
Y'all,
Amy.
now
Have a
Marie-
birthday, Amy.
Marie went to the doctor because she wasn't feeling too
I
good
said,
lately.
you like my joke I said?
Yeah, boss.
Okay,
What joke's
Boston.
going on?
All right, you finished, Boston? Can I start?
Yes, please.
Okay, thank you. You know, you got to be polite and everything.
Hey.
All right. Yo, Marie, she hadn't been feeling too perky lately. So Boudreaux brought her in for a checkup at Dr. Hebert's office. Now, after the doctor examined her, he told Boudreaux, "I can't really say that I like the way your wife looks." Now Boudreaux said, "Yeah, Doc, me neither. But she a good cook and she a damn good house cleaner." All right.
Bastard.
That was terrible. I know it was. I really
No, it
did.
was good.
Terrible,
It was
terrible. All right, everybody,
It was
let's give a
me.
big warm welcome for Doc E. Endora. I forget what to call him now. Doc. The
Call me
doctor
Doc?
is in the house.
Doc Endora.
Doctor is
Excuse
in
me.
the house. I'm going to have a sit.
Have seats.
I'm going to have a sit. Whoop! I lost my camera. Hang on. At least I can talk. Hold on.
I'd rather be someone.
There we go.
Something.
I would rather be. I'll read it. I'll tell you what it is. I'd rather be someone's shot of whiskey than everyone's cup of tea.
Exactly. Perfect.
I'd rather be
Perfect.
someone's shot of whiskey. That's why I'm up here. Now, as all of you know, I'm in the medical field because I is one. I know I hate doctors, but because I is one. But I apologize for not being around because it's been a rough. Even though COVID's over with, it's still been a little busy.
Never was
So-
COVID.
It's not over
They-
with.
Well,
Yes, it
hey,
is.
we're not gonna get into politics. We're not gonna get into the logistics of things. It's just, I had to go back. I was retired, and then I had to go back to
Wow.
work. That pissed me right off. But hey,
Mm.
what can we do it? But I have some new material tonight, which I'm hoping to use on you, and I hope you'll enjoy it. It's going to be a little sarcastic. It's going to be a little rough. So you know
Love
what? Any of you
Sarcasm
guys
is
have
good.
virgin
Good.
ears? Virgin ears, just stick a Q-tip in it, and you won't be a virgin anymore.
That's right. You know we like it rough. You know we like it that way.
Well, that doesn't
Yeah,
include
right.
me.
So I've been running into these patients, and they're really don't melt. Patient says to me, "I've been taking Viagra for my sunburn."
Really?
Out of my,
God.
what? And how did that work for you? Says, "Oh, it keeps the sheets off my leg at night."
That's a good
That's a
one.
good one. That's a good one.
How it works.
And then you get these patients, you get these people that come in, and you have to be professional. It's an ethics thing and it's a manners thing and so forth. But you have to use these. You have to think evil in your mind while you're being nice on the outside. One of the little tunes that we came up with was "Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star, I Want to Hit You with My Car." throw you in a tree off a tree so high and hope you break your neck and die. Yeah, no. I told you it's going to be rough. Going to be rough tonight.
All that while jabbing an IV in there all night.
That's right. Be afraid. I got sharp objects. You can't talk behind my back. Just don't be there when I turn around. You can.
Oh, that's good.
And here's another one that comes up into the back of our head: is love me and I'll move mountains to make you happy. Hate me and I'll drop those mountains right on your balls.
Depending on what kind of mountains, I mean, yay.
Oh, yeah, true.
And here's for the really rowdy patients, really rowdy one. I may look calm, but in my head, I punched you in the face at least 3 times. And here's a favorite word, moist. We say in the medical field, if it's wet and it's slimy and it ain't yours, don't touch it. But the word is moist. Because at least one person you know hates that word.
Yeah, they do for some reason.
Yeah.
I don't know. I used to think I
I think it's a great word.
And then
I associate it
Here's-
with slugs.
here's something that we all use. We all use. I've used up all my sick days, so I called in dead. Now, this is what I need you to do. Listen carefully because you want to write this down. The best way to tell someone you don't like them is to text them these numbers: 370H SSV 0773H and tell them to read it upside down.
Oh, I know.
Now, we're going to go on to other jokes, so I want you to try that. And then
Can
tell me
repeat
what you
that
got.
Again?
Okay, it's 370H SSV, V as in Victor, 0773H. And then somebody's already got it.
Oh my goodness.
So for those of you who didn't do it, when you turn it upside down and read it, what does it say? Hello, asshole.
Yeah.
That's what my proctologist said to me.
That's what my
You know what?
doctor said to me.
And I'll tell you what, I'm not sick. I'm not twisted. Sick makes it sound like there's a cure. Oh, here's one. Here's a cute one. I'm sorry I slapped you, but it didn't seem like you would ever stop talking and I panicked. And these are all jokes that, you know, the staff behind the scenes comes up with, because I'll tell you what, I think it's a full moon every day, whether we see one or not. You know, common sense is so rare these days, it should be classified as a superpower. And I'm going to use some rough language here. So anybody a virgin, like I said, stick a Q-tip in your ear and you'll be able to handle it. Because I carry shop objects and I use this really cool electronic equipment and all this cool medicines and crap, don't mess with me. I'll fuck you up with a smile on my face.
I'll step on your
And this is when you have to work with other people that you know have no business being in the medical field ever. And you have to still that ethics thing. Now, always keep in mind that's that ethics thing where you have to be good-hearted and you have to smile and you have to be, no matter how much you want to murder somebody, but you have to keep a smile on your face. And it says, I will not kill my coworkers. I will not. Okay, maybe one. And then you start targeting to see who's going to be the lucky winner of the day.
That's funny.
And here's one for patients. Now, you know, patients look at doctors and they go, they try to find everything wrong with a doctor every time. You know, they come into your your doctor's office, your clinic, your ED, whatever, and they try to find something wrong with them. No matter what you are, you could be the greatest superhero doctor in the world, and somebody's going to find something wrong with you. So, this is what we think sometimes when we get a patient telling us what we're doing wrong and how it should be done and so on and so forth. When we know they're not right, but you know, we just humor them anyways. And it, you know, I walk away because you were too busy finding faults in with me while I was too busy overlooking yours. So, um, and then I got PMS, OCD, and ADD, and I want to cry, look pretty, and while I kill everyone. But I can't focus on that right now. I'm cleaning.
And you know what? It's what we're trying to innocent.
So, you know how we write these notes? We write these notes, and
So we can't read them. Yeah.
yeah, but we write these notes. We have
Yeah,
these
you
notes
can.
that we put down in the you know, patient charts, and it says discharge status. He's alive or she's alive without my permission. And patient was in a usual good state of health until his airplane ran out of fuel and crashed. Patient refused. Now think about this one. Patient refused an autopsy.
Oh.
Someone wrote that?
And actually, yes, someone actually did write that. That was
Oh
an
my
actual in a
God.
medical chart, believe it or not. And I refuse. Let's see. I refuse to kiss anyone's ass. You want to be mad at me over something petty? Shit, stay mad because I don't give a fuck. All there is to it. Yeah, you know, all these wonderful things. And then, of course, you have these guys, you know, I hate to tell you, what's the difference between God and an orthopedic surgeon? Well, guess what? God doesn't think he's an orthopedic surgeon. God doesn't think he's an orthopedic surgeon. So it's, you know, you get all these different
He
things.
built your feet, so I mean, he's not gonna think he's a surgeon.
No. I think the biggest thing is that, you know, these patients, they just look at you and you have to smile. Yeah, keep on smiling. I'm the one that makes sure that we use the rough needles. Go ahead, make my day. I'm the one that decides whether you have anesthesia or not. How do you like your pain served? 10 times the extreme or little bitty? It depends on how much you kiss my ass. And then why did the pan get hit by a bike every day?
I don't know.
Why did the patient, excuse me, I wrote it down wrong. Forgive me. Why did the patient get hit by a bike every day? Because he was stuck in a vicious cycle.
Vicious.
Vicious cycle. But like I said, I'm not sick, I'm twisted. Sick makes you sound like there's a cure and you can't fix stupid. Thank you very much. You've been a lovely audience.
All right, everybody, big hand for Endora.
And,
I'm gonna get off the stage somehow. I keep walking into walls.
I want to just say one thing before you start there.
Okay.
Excuse
I
me.
went to the ER in January, Endora,
Yeah,
and you go through triage first. That's the first thing that goes.
right, yeah.
And so I'm in there, they're taking my blood pressure, and they're asking me questions, what's wrong, right? Obviously, I was in there for a reason. I had a stomach bug, and I was dehydrated. But
Right.
he looks at me, and he goes, "You chew tobacco?" I said,
Mm.
no. He goes, have you ever chewed tobacco? I said, no. He goes, I didn't think so. He goes, someone put that on your chart. I go, that's my doctor's office. He's like 80-something years old, and his nurses are worse.
Ugh.
He's
I'm
retiring
sorry
this
to hear
month.
that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh,
He
I'm
goes, I'll
sorry
take
to
that
hear
right
that.
off the chart. So they do
Yeah.
put shit on your chart that is not real.
Yeah.
Yes, they do. And it gives us more for our comedy act at the end of the day. That's what it does. But
Thank God for some
It
small
gets
favor.
worse as you get older, I think.
Maybe you
Yes,
were singing. Maybe you were singing chew tobacco, spit. Maybe
No.
that's why.
Like, you chew tobacco. Are you kidding me?
well, I'm sorry you had to go through that happened.
Well, no, don't be sorry. It happened. It was funny. Okay, thank you, Nick.
Go ahead, Nick.
All right, we're ready.
We're ready.
All right. All right, y'all. Boudreaux, he done died.
Oh.
Oh no.
And now
Not
after he
again.
died, he was standing by the pearly gates, waiting to get in line. Now, he gets up to the front. Now, St. Peter leafing through this big old book looking for information about Boudreaux. St. Peter tells him, says, Boudreaux, I really don't see anything special about you. But I tell you what, if you could tell me about one good thing you done in your lifetime, I'll let you in. Because about that time, he don't think he want to let Boudreaux in. Because y'all know Boudreaux done some dumb things. Now, Boudreaux thinks for a minute or two, and then he tells St. Peter, well, there was this one time I was driving down the levee in my pickup truck, and I spotted the Hells Angels motorcycle gang giving this young girl a really bad time. There was about 50, maybe 30 of them. And sure enough, they was assaulting her, and they was trying to have her away with them. Now I stopped my truck. I jumped out that thing with a tire iron, walked up to the biggest one in the gang, and proceeded to beat him with the tire iron as hard as I could. And I told the rest of them if they didn't leave that poor little girl alone, I was going to whoop up on all of them. Well, St. Peter, they made this big old circle around me. And about this time, St. Peter stopped him and said, now, Boudreaux, I'm really impressed with this story, but I don't see any mention of this in my book. And my book got everything. How long ago did this happen? Boudreaux looked down at his watch and he says, oh, about 10 minutes ago.
Yeah, it did. Bang.
Yep.
All right. Boudreaux went out one night, and he went out with Thibodeau, and he had a little bit too much to drink. Now, as he was staggering home, he put his 2 little empty bottles of whiskey in his back pocket. Don't know why, but he did. Now, walking up the steps to his house, he tripped, falls down, breaking both of the bottles, and cutting himself pretty bad on the derriere.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Now, he gets inside, and looking at his rear end in the mirror, decided he better put some Band-Aids on there before he bleed to death.
Well,
And
yeah.
the next morning, Marie wakes up and said, Boudreaux, I see you came home drunk again last night. Now, Boudreaux said, Chef, what makes you think that? Marie said, well, because you done got Band-Aids all over the mirror.
Nice.
You, I like that.
That was
Good
good.
one.
All right. Open mic.
That's too funny.
Who want to come up here?
I will.
I'll go up. I'll do a couple.
Okay, you go ahead.
Yeah,
Sid.
very few.
All right. Let's everybody big old hand for
Hey,
Fiddlah.
February!
Fiddlah.
February!
Thank you, everybody.
I do apologize. Can't get my gestures to work for some reason. SL, damn it.
I don't know what the hell I'm drinking. That's weird.
Smells
Not
good.
drinking anything.
Yeah. All right. Well, I got a few marriage jokes.
Oh, good. I love them.
I asked my wife if she ever fantasizes about me. She says yes. About me taking out the trash, mowing the lawn, doing the dishes.
That's true.
She's turning women on, man.
They do.
I asked my wife what she wanted for Christmas, so she told me nothing would make me happier than a diamond necklace. So I bought her nothing.
I like that one.
I don't believe that.
My wife said, I look fat. Can you give me a compliment? I said, yeah, you have perfect eyesight.
I
That's
look
terrible.
fat or I feel fat. Big difference.
I accidentally handed my wife a glue stick instead of a chapstick. She still isn't talking to me.
That's a good tip. I like
Yeah.
that.
A good wife always forgives her husband when she's wrong. Yeah, right.
What do you say when you wake up every morning?
I don't know. What do I?
I'm sorry.
Oh, that's everything I'm gonna do today.
You're gonna do it now. Come on, buddy.
The nurse says we need a stool sample and a urine sample.
Here we
I
go.
says to my wife, what did she say? She says, they want your underwear. Now, how do I disable the autocorrect function on my wife?
Undoable.
I know.
Can't happen.
Yeah. It's been raining for 3 days without stopping. My wife is in depression. She's standing and looking through the window. If the rain doesn't stop tomorrow, I'll have to let her in.
Oh my gosh.
My wife gave birth 4 times and still fits in her prom dress from high school. I gave birth 0 times and I don't fit my pants from March. I like this one. This is kind of true to our style. My wife made me a green hamburger today to celebrate St. Patty's Day. I asked her how she colored it, and she said, I don't know what you're talking about.
Just eat it. I'm only gonna throw it out.
The therapist asked my wife why she wanted to end our marriage. She said she hated all the constant Star Wars puns. I looked at the therapist and said, divorces are strong with it.
The horse is strong with this one. Oh, jeez.
Excuse me, sorry.
I haven't spoken to my wife for 18 months. I hate to interrupt her. This is very true, guys. Every time you talk to your wife, your mind should remember this. This conversation will be recorded for training and quality purposes. My wife and I always compromise. I admit I'm wrong and she agrees.
You're on a good roll now.
My wife's not too smart. I told her our kids were spoiled. She said, all kids smell that way. I had my credit card stolen the other day, but I didn't bother to report it because the thief spends less than my wife.
Mm-hmm.
Don't want to ruin that.
Any married man should forget his mistakes. There's no use in the world for two people remembering the same thing.
A waste of energy.
My wife asked me earlier, "Are you even listening to me?" Which is a really weird way to start a conversation. My cross-eyed wife and I just got a divorce. We didn't see eye to eye. I also found out she was seeing someone on the side. My wife was furious at me for dropping ice cubes under the refrigerator. But it's just water under the fridge.
Under the fridge.
Is a wife dissatisfied with my body? I think so. A tiny part of me says yes. Several guys are sitting around having a drink, and one guy says, "My wife's an angel." The other guy says, "You're lucky, mine's still alive." My wife ran off with my best friend last week. I really miss him. And last but not least, I married Miss Wright. I just didn't know her first name was always. Thank you very much, everybody.
All right, big hand for Fiddlah.
The couch will be made up for you with no problem.
Thank you, honey.
You got it.
All right, the other night, y'all, this actually happened. Boudreaux and Thibodeau was walking through the woods the other day when a flying saucer landed over the trees. Now, a door opened and two little green aliens climbed out of the aircraft. Spacecraft, I'm sorry. Thibodeau asked Boudreaux and said, "Man, look at that. What you think that is?" Now, Boudreaux lifts up his shotgun, looks down the barrel, and aims it at the little critters. Now, Thibodeau, I don't know what they is, but you go back onto the camp, put on a pot of roux, and boil some rice. We eating good tonight. I swear, I know I screwed that one up.
I know you did
But speaking
not.
of
I got it.
speaking of coon asses and Cajuns and eating,
Woo!
I got another one about just that kind of thing. And it's also about Boudreaux and Thibodeau. Now, Thibodeau saw Boudreaux sitting on his front porch the other morning. Now, he stopped and asked Boudreaux what he's doing at home in the middle of the day, instead of being at his job at the zoo. Oh, I told this one just the other day at the SL. Anyway, Boudreaux tell him he got fired yesterday. Thibodeau said, "Man, that's too bad, Boudreaux. I thought you was doing a really good job over there. Why they fired you?" Now, Boudreaux said, "Well, I really don't know either, Thibodeau. The owner of the zoo told me to put up some signs telling all about them animals. So I did. And I put up all the signs with the best recipes I could think of for each one of them.
Oh.
And then I got fired."
The best recipes.
Oh, I tell you.
Kangaroo stew.
If you had kangaroos in South Louisiana, I would know how to cook it.
Just like deer.
Yeah, but
Yeah?
they got a nasty plateau, I think, in their feet.
Anything wild, you cook at half the temperature and half the time.
Deer, half the temperature. or kangaroo?
Temperature half the time. It's got no fat on it. Right. Totally lean.
Okay. I'm gonna remember that next time we
That's
go
why a
down.
lot of game meat comes out soft because it's overcooked
Oh, yeah.
and dry.
Exactly.
So like he said, half the temp, half the
I'll
temp.
cook a whole deer roast at 200 degrees for about an hour and a half, and then I'll chop it into cubes, like 3x3 cubes, and put it in for another 20 minutes at 200 degrees. Done.
With special sauce.
Yeah.
Hey, why? You ready to come up here?
Ready.
Ready to go. I'm looking at you. I can see you ready to go. All right, everybody. Let's welcome Y to the
Hey,
stage.
why
I
not?
don't know if I can. I mean, I don't know if I can even sit there. Let me sit
I'm
there.
pretty sure you can.
Oh, there I.
Oh, there
Wait,
you
no,
go.
I'm hugging the chair.
Sit
What
your
the hell
ass
is that?
down.
She
What
making out
happened to
with
my
somebody up
I'm
there.
making out with a chair here. What happened to the chair? What happened to my
You can sit
chair?
down. There you
Oh
go.
my
Does
lord, that was bizarre. Well, I'm going to tell some funny jokes because they're all about circuses and clowns. Yeah.
Yay.
All right. So, a circus performers pulled over for speeding. As the officers writing the ticket, the cop noticed several machetes in the car. What are those for? She asked suspiciously. I'm a juggler, the man said. I use them in my act. Okay, well, show me, the officer said. So the juggler got out the machetes and started juggling them. 3, then he got more, then finally he got 7 at a time, overhand, underhand, behind the back, putting on a dazzling show, amazing the officer. And while the juggler was performing this amazing circus act, a car passed by. The driver of the other car did a double take and said, "Oh my God, I've got to give up drinking. Look at the tests they're giving now."
Can you imagine that? Get pulled over and the officer says, all right, here, juggle.
All right, this couple who work in a circus to an adoption agency, and the social workers there raised doubts about their suitability. Well, the couple produced photos of their 50-foot motorhome equipped with a beautiful nursery in it. The social workers then are doubtful about the education the kids would get. Well, they have arranged a full-time tutor who will teach the child all the usual subjects, along with French, Mandarin, and computer skills. Well, then they have doubts about raising the child in a circus environment. Well, our nanny's an expert in pediatric welfare and diet. And the social workers, finally, they get satisfied. They say, what age child do you want to adopt? And the couple says, we don't really care as long as the kid fits in the canon. A circus is in town, famed for a lion tamer that they have that's wonderful. The evening is unfolding and the anticipated act is on the audience right at the moment. Rings of fire, whips are cracking. For the final act, the lion tamer climbs up on a pedestal, unzips his pants and pulls out his member. The largest and most ferocious lion opens his maw on command. The lion tamer places his exposed manhood into the gaping maw. Quick as lightning, the lion slams its jaws shut, and the quicker yet, tamer whips his member out of danger. The lion, roaring and frustrated, makes another round, opening its mouth wide to accept the lion tamer's Johnson. This time, without waiting for the command, the lion snaps his teeth with incredible speed, and the tamer is still yet faster. A roar goes through the crowd. The tamer turns around and asks the audience, anyone out there in the audience brave enough to attempt this trick? If you succeed, I'll give you $100. Well, all the men in the audience are squirming in their seats. A hush falls across the whole tent. Grandma Ethel, seeing an opportunity to make $100, stands up. I'll do it. Well, how exactly do you propose to do that? The tamer said. But just hold on, let me put my dentures in, she says. Yeah, little Timmy and his parents went to the circus. When the elephants came into the ring, Timmy turned to his mom and said, What's that hanging down from that elephant? I'm echoing through somebody's mic here.
Probably me. Let me kill my mic.
Oh. And Timmy says, "What's that hanging down from that elephant?" And his mom said, "That's the elephant's trunk." And Timmy said, "No, not that. Back underneath the elephant." And his mom, embarrassed, said, "That's nothing." Well, Timmy's not satisfied with that response, and he turns to his daddy. "Daddy, what's that hanging down underneath that elephant?" And the dad says, "That is the elephant's penis." But Mom said it was nothing. "I know, son," he says. "I've really spoiled that woman." Hey, what's the difference between a circus and 5 female line dancers without panties?
I don't know.
I don't know either, but one is sure a cunning array of stunts.
Oh,
Did you hear about the orgy at the
Oh,
circus?
she said a naughty word.
Did you hear about the orgy at the circus? It was fucking intense.
oh.
Why are circuses and orgies similar? Why are circuses and orgies similar? They have the same payoff. Come one, come all. This man and his wife are sitting down to dinner. Their Ringling Brothers is coming to town, she says. The poster says they have a dancing bear. I always wanted to see a dancing bear. He goes, "Maybe next year. Work is real busy this week." Well, the next night, the man can barely sit down, and she starts talking again. "The neighbors went to the show, and they said a tightrope walkers were doing a hokey pokey up on the wire. Can you imagine?" "Well, I'd love to tell you. I'd love to take you there," the man says, "but the boss will be mad if I don't get this project done." So the next night, the wife's gushing about how the paper boy told her about a dozen clowns popped out of a tiny car and did the can and bloomers and all this stuff. And the night after that, the wife's really downcast because the husband keeps saying he's got to work. "My book club said last night the lion tamer and the girl who rides the elephants did a waltz. It was perfectly romantic. It feels like we're the only people in town that didn't see the show. They only got one more night. Can we go tomorrow, please? Can't we go?" And the man thinks for a minute, and he goes, "Well, this might be the only opportunity for them to see it. Maybe his work could wait." He calls his friend to ask his friend to cover for him at work the next day. So the man and his wife go to bed excited about seeing the show, and the next day at work, the boss notices that man is gone, not at work, and asks about it from the friend. And the friend goes, "Oh, yeah, he can't come in today for unseen circumstances." This man comes in to interview for a circus audition, and the interviewer says, "What's your talent?" "I imitate birds," the man answered. "Oh, gosh, I'm sorry. That's not something we're looking for in our show." "Well, thanks for your time anyway," the man said, and he flew out the window. Yeah, this husband and wife had a human cannonball act in the circus, and one day the wife ran off with the lion tamer, and the husband was so dejected. A strong man there in the circus asked, "What are you going to do?" The husband said, "This is a total freaking disaster. I don't know where I'm going to find another woman of her caliber." Thank you. I'm so glad someone got it. Caliber, cannon, bullet, whatever. All right. Years ago, I used to love the circus. They had some wonderful acts. I remember all the fat, I love that fat tattooed lady. But now you can find them everywhere. At the grocery store, out in the goddamn Walmart, everywhere. A dog walks.
They're everywhere.
Yep. This dog walks in a bar and he goes, "I would like a pint of beer, please." And the bartender says, "Wow, you should be in a circus." And the dog says, "Why? Do they need electricians?" So this circus is looking for new acts, so they put an advertisement in the local paper. A few days later, the circus's agent gets a phone call. "Hi, I'm Jeff," says the caller. "Saw your advertisement. It sounds like my dream. I'm definitely talented enough to be in the circus." "Oh, well, okay, Jeff. Tell me about yourself. What's your skill?" says the agent. I can skateboard, says Jeff. I go really fast. I've just learned how to land a kick flip. Agent frowns. Well, Jeff, that's really nice, but it doesn't sound like a circus kind of act. Have you got anything else? Well, sure I do. I'm a pretty good basketball player, too. I can make 3-pointers about 8 times out of 10, says Jeff. Well, Jeff, it doesn't sound like you get what we do here. We need something with a bit more of spectacle than that. Well, tap dancing, says Jeff. I've done it 12 months and... I'm sorry, Jeff. I think you best be off looking elsewhere, and goodbye. Wait, what about yo-yoing, baking bread, playing a guitar, hopping up and down on one leg? I can... But it's too late. The agent hung up. Alone now, Jeff ponders his rejection. After a moment or two, he comes to a realization. Oh, shit. I should have told him I'm a horse.
That's a good one.
Oh, well, that's the end of mine for the night, boys and girls.
All right. Big hand for Wyvern. Thank you, Y.
Good job, Y.
Thank you.
Hey, why not? Woo!
All right. We do got a couple more minutes left on the clock. So if anybody in here has a joke they want to tell, you know, something they've been holding on to for a while and just gotta spit it out, now's the time. All right, let everybody at one time.
Not everybody wants.
Anybody
Okay.
want one?
All right.
Okay,
Well, I'm gonna do one more. Huh?
I'll come up then. Nobody else wants to go.
Yay!
Okay. Come on up here, everybody. Just welcome Y. Wow.
Yay! Wow! Yay!
One or the other, it's all the same.
Well, they start off the same first
Yeah.
syllable.
That's
Have me-
right.
Had me stuck.
Why are we so wild? Okay.
All right then. Let's see. Let me tell you some one-liners of stuff, and then I'll do a little bit of blonde jokes, because I'm actually blonde. So, I rolled up a stiff carpet and smoked it. I'm on hard drugs.
Wow.
It's hard to explain puns to kleptomaniacs because they always take things literally.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it's okay to smoke weed in the rain, but don't inhale. Don't smoke weed in the hail.
Oh, that took too long to get.
I bought a pair of shoes off a drug dealer. I don't know what he laced them with, but I've been tripping all day. Okay. I backed a horse last week at 10-1. It came in at 4:15. Yeah, that didn't quite make it, did it?
It was funny. It was good.
I used to be addicted to soap, but I'm clean now.
Quite the accomplishment.
Yeah, right.
Really.
I couldn't hold the candle to my grandfather. He was an alcoholic. Oh, gambling addiction hotlines might get a lot more gamblers if every 10th caller was a winner.
That's true.
They'd be playing that like the poker machine.
Yeah, right?
Mm.
I
Well,
have
I'm bad at-
kleptomania. When it gets bad, I take something for it. I used to be addicted to the hokey pokey, but I turned
You turn
myself
yourself
around.
That's what it's all about.
Dad, are we pyromaniacs? We are, son.
Oh, the sun. I get the sun definitely is.
Arson.
Our son.
I used to be addicted to swimming, but I'm proud to say that I've been dry for 6 years.
That's good.
My dad has a weird hobby. He collects bottles. That sounds so much better than an alcoholic.
It does.
Yeah.
Okay, so enough of those. Let's do a little bit of blonde jokes while we got a little bit of time. Okay. Let me turn the light so I can see. Why don't blondes call 911 when they are in an emergency?
Why?
Because they can't find the number 11 on their phone. What do you call a blonde who dyed her hair brown? Artificial intelligence. Yeah, why did a blonde buy an elephant instead of a new car? Because an
She wanted
elephant
a
has a
big
bigger
trunk.
trunk.
Yeah.
How do you keep a blonde busy for several hours? Ask her to count the number of stairs of an escalator. Night Day, glad you could be here. Welcome back, Johnny. See you
Love
Thursday
you.
day. Cool, man. Where was I going? I was gonna say something. How do you make a blonde laugh on Saturday? Tell her a joke on Wednesday. Some of you've heard these already, but some people haven't.
That's all right. They're still funny.
Yeah, they are. They're
In fact,
great.
it's like they're even more funny. It's like leftover dinner. Better the second time.
Oh yeah, yeah, better
True.
because all the flavors have a chance to mess around when you come back up again. The blonde's computer password had to be 8 characters long and include at least one capital. So she made it Mickey, Minnie, Pluto, Huey, Louie, Dewey, Donald, Goofy, Albany. 8 characters and a capital.
Oh yeah.
Albany, New
Those are
York.
all, those are all Disney characters. Did you hear about
Anybody
the
ever
blonde?
gonna guess that one?
No. Except another blonde, maybe. Did you hear about the blonde who bought an AM radio? It took her months to figure out she could use it at night. How do you keep a blonde at home? How do you keep a blonde at home? Build a circular driveway. 3 blondes walk into a building. You'd think at least one of them would have seen it.
Or at least a third one, right?
Yeah, at least, yeah, right?
Boom, boom, boom.
Boom, boom, boom. Why couldn't the blonde write the number 11? She couldn't figure out which number came first. 2 blondes are living in Oklahoma were sitting on a bench. One blonde says to the other, which do you think is farther away, Florida or the moon? The other blonde says, well, you can't see Florida. Why was the blonde staring at a bottle of orange juice? Because it said concentrate.
Orange juice concentrate.
Orange juice concentrate. Did you hear about the near tragedy at the mall? Yeah, there was a power outage and 8 blondes were stuck on escalators for more than 4 hours. All they had to do was fall. Okay, 2 blondes fell down a hole, right? So one said, it's dark in here, isn't it? Then the other replied, I don't know, I can't see.
It's a trick question.
Why'd the blonde put her iPad in the blender? She wanted to make apple juice.
Who's that? Where's that coming from?
Okay, and finally, that's already after 6. Okay. A blonde, a redhead, and a brunette were lost on the desert. They found the lamp and rubbed it. A genie popped out and granted them each one wish. The redhead wished to be back home. Poof! She was back home. The brunette wished to be at home with her family. And poof! She was back home with her family. The blonde said, "Aw, I wish my friends were here." And here they come back.
Yay!
Hey, thank you all. Thanks for listening.
Oh, that was great.
Good job, bud.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Wild. Everybody, big hand for Wild.
Thank you.
And a big hand for yourselves, because y'all will make it happen. So we're going to wrap it up tonight. I want to thank everybody for coming here and making us laugh and laughing with us. And,
That's a
oh
good
yeah,
one.
Thursday night, make sure y'all come to Match Game. Wild is our host, so you can imagine how much fun we have.
Yeah.
Yep. And
Yeah,
we'll see
Thursday
y'all here
night.
next week.